Here's a hot take. Everyone's calling themselves top tier, high value, or alpha these days, but most of them are not. You know, the type posting their feelings on their stories every day, subtweeting drama, rebranding their personality every single week, trying to convince the world that they're rare. Listen, top tier doesn't announce itself. Top tier doesn't broadcast every mood swing. Top tier doesn't argue online for attention. And yes, this applies to men and women. If you're posting motivational quotes, gym selfies, or calling yourself elite every week, guess what? You're not top tier. You're insecure with Wi-Fi. So this is real versus fake top tier. Understanding the difference. Fake top tier is loud, reactive, performing online, and chasing validation. Real top tier, quiet, consistent, disciplined, and unbothered. Fake top tier, they're always broadcasting, posting stories about my energy switch, nobody checks on me, I'm done giving chances. That is not rare. That's attention seeking. That's insecurity. Real top tier moves in silence. They don't post updates to prove a point or their value. They don't need your approval. They're consistent, disciplined, and unbothered. And think about it. Would a Lamborghini introduce itself? Point proven. You just notice it. So if someone's constantly telling you they're top tier, they probably aren't. And again, this goes for everyone, man and woman. If you're always performing online to show your confidence, your power, or your value, you're not leading, you're reacting. Recognize real traits and behaviors. No public emotional displays. Value time, energy, and boundaries. And slow and confident. Here's how you spot it. Real top tier doesn't overshare online. Real top tier doesn't argue in the comments. Real top tier doesn't post, "Look at me, I'm elite" captions. They respect their time, their energy, their peace. They don't compete with strangers, and they don't need a validation. Luxury doesn't need a hashtag. Alpha doesn't need a caption. Top tier doesn't need your attention either. If someone is really rare, you feel it. You don't need 100 stories a week to convince you. And yes, the same rules apply to men. You don't call yourself alpha, you become alpha. You don't flex online, you move silent, consistent, and disciplined. So, this is how you become top tier. Actionable steps. Move in silence, build skill, body, and mindset. Limit oversharing and reacting online. Focus on self-validation, not likes. Be consistent, not performative. Stop chasing validation, stop announcing your mood, stop labeling yourself elite. Instead, build yourself. Read instead of scroll. Train your body, build your skill, invest in yourself, and not the algorithm. Real top tier doesn't post their progress. They live it. They don't need attention. They command respect. Consistency is attractive. Discipline is attractive. Quiet confidence is lethal. So here's the savage truth. If you're performing, posting, or proving, you're not top tier. You're just entertaining the world while your potential sits on pause. Most people saying they're top tier aren't. Most people flexing confidence online are scared in real life. Top tier doesn't talk. Top tier doesn't advertise. Top tier builds. Top tier moves silent. Stop marking yourself. Start becoming yourself. Always be you. Do things solo. Remember, this goes for all men and women. Real value doesn't need a label.